As I mentioned in the last lecture, we don't need to build everything from scratch. Instead, there is a package, the next auth package, which we can use for implementing authentication. Now, the next auth package makes adding authentication to your next application super simple. And it actually supports a broad variety of authentication providers. So you can't just go with your own email and password combination. You can also easily add sign in with Google or Facebook or Apple or whatever you want with NextAuth. The documentation, of course, is the place to go. And there, if you click on authentication providers, you see a list of supported providers. And if you click on one, you'll learn how to implement authentication with that provider. So that is something you absolutely can do. Now here in this module, we will not use one of those providers though, but instead we will build it from scratch with our own email password combination stored in our own database so that we can really see the complete authentication flow in greatest detail. Now therefore that is the package we are going to use, and hence to get started, what we'll do is we'll first of all install NextAuth. So in our project folder, I'll quit the dev server and npm install NextAuth to install this NextAuth package, next-auth. We'll install that, and the NextAuth package has both server-side and client-side capabilities. We'll be able to use it on some API routes to verify if a user is logged in, and we'll be able to use it in our components to do the same. Because, of course, the answer to the question whether a user is logged in and authenticated is not just needed on protected resources on the server side, so in our API routes, but also in our client-side components. There, we also might want to show a different user interface based on whether a user is authenticated or not. And NextAuth will allow us to do both server-side and client-side validation. It will also help us with generating those auth tokens, those JSON web tokens. One thing it will not do, though, is manage user creation for us. We need to bring our own logic for this. It does support various databases, but mostly for other authentication methods. And when it comes to having our own user accounts, then we need to bring our own sign-up API route and our own user verification logic. But that's exactly what we're going to build over the next lectures now and what we're going to explore there.